Hello and welcome to the AIDEM Special Focus. Today, AIDEM Special Focus is observing the anniversary, in fact, the sixth anniversary of one of the watershed moments in contemporary Indian history, especially India's contemporary economic history. Yes, I'm talking about the demonetization of November 8, 2016, which was announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi one fine night, calling the entire country for a special television appearance. Of course, the simple message from Prime Minister Modi on that night was that notes of two denominations, rupees 500 and rupees 1000, were getting banned from that night onwards, and Indians were given a specific period of time to get these notes to the banking system and change it and make it legitimate. Well, the long and short of it was that these two notes of rupees 500 and rupees 1000 denominations were getting banned, and people had to go to the banks and get it kind of reconverted so that it gets into the legitimate system. Of course, such an important event as demonetization, which caused tremendous hardships to people. People had to stand in long queues going to the banks to get this note converted. Several people collapsed in these queues, in these long queues. Some of them died. And it created such mayhem and such unrest among people that Modi himself, after coming back from a trip abroad, had to say very emotionally that, of course, I know that you have some problems. He told the people that I know that you have some problems, but just give me 50 days. And in 50 days, I will see to it that the country's economy is cleansed up. It is devoid of all the bad elements in the economy, and you have a fresh, new, beautiful life. So such an important will certainly be remembered. So 6 years later, as this day is being remembered, Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the principal opposition Congress, who is now on a Bharat Joda Yatra across the country, he has just now entered Maharashtra. So he said that the anniversary of demonetization brings back memories of the great hardships it caused to the poor of this country. It did not inflict a great blow on black money as was promised, but inflicted tremendous crippling blows on the poor people of India. It inflicted tremendous crippling blows on the poor people of India. That's what Rahul Gandhi said. On the other hand, Amit Malavia, the head of the BJP social media wing, one of the stars of its social media campaign, came up with a series of tweets himself, but with some pictorials, some graphics, and one may say a highly convoluted stream of argument to justify demonetization and its after effects. Well, let's look at some of these tweets. Well, in one tweet, he says that demonetization, its action against black money, between the period of 2014 and 2021, if he takes 2 years before the actual pronouncement of demonetization, and of course he takes till 2021 last year, and he says undisclosed assets worth 7,877 crores was seized. He says that 87,200 crores undisclosed income worth rupees 87,200 crore rupees was admitted. Then he says that undisclosed assets worth rupees 4,934 crores was seized. Then he also adds undisclosed income of rupees 50,250 crores admitted, and he goes on and on. So basically, he doesn't really say what exactly was the effect of demonetization, but he also goes on to say that, that another tweet he says, the Panama Papers brought out so much of black money in this country. There were an international consortium investigation of journalists. They brought out certain amounts. So basically, he doesn't really pinpoint what exactly was the effect of demonetization. So it is in this context that special focus would like to go directly to the claims that accompanied the announcement of demonetization or note ban, as it was called by common people. So, one of the direct claims of the demonetization announcement was that it was estimated that there was about 15.41 lakh crores of in circulation in this country, and the government was expecting at least 4 lakh crore rupees to be unaccounted, that it would not come back to the banking system. So that would straight away add to the legitimate economy. It would straight away add strength to the legitimate economy and its value. But what happened really? By the time the demonetization period, the period for which conversion of old notes into new notes was over, out of the 15.41 lakh crores worth of money which was supposed to be in circulation, 15.31 lakh crore rupees came back into the banking circuit, which meant in February 2019, then Finance Minister Piyush Goyal, who 3 years later, 3 years after demonetization, 2.5 years after demonetization, Piyush Goyal himself told Parliament that only rupees 1.3 lakh crore black money has been recovered through all anti-black money measures, including demonetization. Remember, the government had actually promised or claimed that 4 lakh crores would come. It did not come. So, if you look at this plain statistics, it's very clear demonetization failed to recover black money. That's number one. The second objective of demonetization was reduction in number of fake notes. So at that time also the statistics with the government said that 6.32 lakh counterfeit pieces were in circulation across the country and it was seized. But in the next 4 years, a total of 18.87 lakh pieces of fake notes were seized. Interestingly, the new fake notes were in the denomination of 100, more in the denomination of 100, which was not banned. So people who printed fake notes had found their own ways and means to bypass the so-called great initiative of demonetization. And of course, the third important element was enhancement of digital currency exchange or uh, enhancement of digital money exchange. That has certainly improved. There is no doubt about it. That, if you look at RBI data, Reserve Bank of India data, you can see that, from a meager 70,466 transactions in a year in 2016, it has now gone up to 3.4 lakh in 2020 and more in the preceding in the 2 years that have followed. So basically, this objective has certainly been attained, but that does not mean that black money is not in circulation. That does not mean that fake notes in circulation have been stopped or has been curtailed. In fact, they're all going in leaps and bounds. And one clear indicator of this this proliferation of black money and fake notes is the money that political parties themselves spend in election time and in other places. You must be remembering the case of the bureaucrat couple in Madhya Pradesh, from whose house thousands of crores were seized from beds, from bathrooms, and places like that. There was also the case of a minister in the West Bengal government, from whose house and whose accomplice's house lakhs of crores of rupees in cash were seized. And of course, and to top it all, the ruling party of India, the Bharatiya Janata Party, arguably the richest party in the world, it has become the richest party in the world in the period after demonetization. There are people like lawyer, politician Kapil Sibal and Sharad Pawar, president of the Nationalist Congress Party and a person who did his politics for a long time in Mumbai, or Bombay as it was called at one point of time, the trade and industrial capital of India. And he also said that the end results of demonetization has been the enrichment of the ruling party of India, that is the Bharatiya Janata Party. That is certainly a very moot point. a point which future historians and future economic analysts would continue to discuss and ponder. The special focus just wishes to remember the anniversary of demonetization, or note ban as it is called in common parlance, by giving a broad picture, a broad and short picture of the objectives of demonetization as it was announced and how it has played out in the last 6 years, and certainly the projections that politicians have made about it, and perhaps in the days to come, theorists, political theorists, social theorists, and economic theorists will come to a more definitive conclusion whether it was essentially a ploy to enrich the coffers of a particular party. Of course, the verdict will take some time to come, but in this episode of special episode, we'll just want to kind of poke the people involved, poke the specialists involved to continue to think about it. And of course, remember the people as to what those days were and what was the impact of all that. Of course, I'm sure that every one of you who's watching this program will have his or her own demonetization story. Please consider sharing that with the AIDEM special focus. And of course, we will also give you space to air those views in the days to come. Thank you.